Iran's recent seizure of a Marshall Islands-flagged oil tanker in the Strait of Hormuz marks a significant escalation in an already tense region, drawing attention to the growing risks surrounding one of the world's most vital maritime choke points. The incident unfolded on the morning of November 14, 2025, when Iranian forces intercepted the tanker Talara just after it had passed through the narrow Strait of Hormuz, a key passage that sees about 20% of the world's oil pass through its waters every day. The Iranian authorities, including the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, quickly moved to seize control of the vessel, claiming that it was carrying an illegal consignment and that their actions were based on a court order. The ship, which was carrying approximately 30,000 tons of petrochemical products, including high-sulfur gasoil, was diverted into Iranian territorial waters shortly after the interception. Iranian state media later reported that the operation was part of a broader effort to safeguard Iran's national interests and prevent illegal shipments from entering or leaving its ports. The Strait of Hormuz, which separates Iran from the Arabian Peninsula, has long been a strategic flashpoint due to its vital role in global energy transport. With Iran and its regional adversaries such as the United States and Israel constantly at odds, the Strait has seen several high-profile incidents in the past, but this latest event further highlights the fragile security environment in the region. The seizure comes just months after a series of military confrontations between Iran and Israel, where both sides exchanged strikes and retaliatory actions, further escalating the tension. The United States, which has military assets stationed nearby, has expressed concern over the growing instability in the region, especially in relation to maritime safety. In the days following the tanker seizure, various reports surfaced that indicated the presence of a U.S. Navy MQ-4C Triton drone, which had been monitoring the area for hours before the ship's course change. It is believed that the drone had been tracking the tanker's movements in the region, a sign of the heightened military activity in the strait and its surrounding waters. The UK's Maritime Trade Operations Centre also flagged the incident, calling it state activity and advising vessels to proceed with caution when passing through the waterway. In addition to the geopolitical implications, the seizure of the Talara has raised concerns within the global shipping community. The tanker's journey, which began in the UAE and was destined for Singapore, came to an abrupt halt after the Iranian forces boarded the vessel, reportedly using small boats to approach and take control. Private maritime security firms tracking the situation confirmed that the vessel's crew had lost contact with the outside world shortly after the interception. The safety of the crew members, which reportedly includes personnel from various nationalities, remains a primary concern for both the shipping company and international maritime organizations. The Iranian government's statement following the seizure emphasized that the operation was in line with international law and aimed at preserving the country's sovereignty and security. A spokesperson for the IRGC, speaking to the state-run news agency IRNA, stated the tanker was taken to Iranian waters after it was found to be in violation of our laws. We have acted in accordance with the orders of our courts to protect Iran's resources. Iran has consistently framed such actions as a necessary response to perceived violations of its economic and territorial rights, particularly in the context of escalating tensions with the West and its regional adversaries. However, the international community has reacted with alarm. The U.S. State Department quickly issued a statement condemning the seizure, calling it an unlawful act of aggression and urging Iran to release the ship and its crew. The U.S. Navy has long maintained a presence in the region to safeguard the free flow of international shipping, and this incident is likely to prompt a recalibration of military tactics and security measures in the area. The U.S. response reflects broader concerns about Iran's ability to disrupt vital shipping lanes, a strategy it has occasionally employed in the past to exert pressure on its adversaries. Maritime analysts have pointed out that while this incident may appear to be an isolated event, it could signal a broader shift in Iran's maritime strategy. The seizure of the Talara follows a string of previous incidents where Iranian forces have harassed or detained vessels in the region. These actions, often involving smaller boats and sometimes involving military assets like fast attack craft, are part of a pattern of Iranian provocations that have raised alarm among international shipping companies and governments alike. As of late 2025, the Iranian Navy and the IRGC have become increasingly active in the waters surrounding the Strait of Hormuz, asserting their control over key passages and demonstrating their willingness to use force to achieve their objectives. The geopolitical implications of the Talara's seizure are vast. As one of the world's most critical choke points for oil and gas shipments, any disruption in the Strait of Hormuz can have a profound impact on global energy markets. The interruption of shipping routes can send shockwaves through the oil market, driving up prices and causing volatility in supply chains. Already, analysts are predicting that the price of oil may rise in response to the increasing security concerns in the region, adding to the already fragile state of the global energy market. Beyond the immediate economic impacts, the seizure also raises questions about the broader security architecture in the region. The United States, which has long maintained a military presence in the Persian Gulf, will likely face increased pressure to bolster its defences and ensure the free flow of trade through the Strait of Hormuz. With tensions between Iran and the US continuing to simmer and the spectre of a broader regional conflict looming, the US Navy is expected to play a pivotal role in responding to the threat posed by Iranian actions. For its part, Iran has framed its actions as part of a broader push to assert its sovereignty and protect its interests in the Pacific region. The Iranian government has long been critical of Western military influence in the Gulf and has repeatedly called for a reduction in foreign military presence in the region. While Iran has historically refrained from directly targeting commercial shipping, it has frequently used maritime confrontations as a means of applying pressure to its adversaries, particularly the United States, Israel and Saudi Arabia. The Talara's seizure also underscores the growing role of non-state actors in shaping security dynamics in the Strait of Hormuz. In recent years, Iranian-backed militias and other paramilitary groups have become more active in the region, engaging in acts of sabotage, espionage and cyber attacks against maritime targets. These groups often operate in a grey area between state and non-state actors, complicating efforts to maintain order and enforce international law in the region. The international community, including the United Nations, has called for restraint from all parties involved and urged Iran to release the tanker and its crew. The US and European powers, which have already been grappling with the fallout from previous maritime incidents, will likely intensify diplomatic efforts to de-escalate the situation. However, given the deep-seated animosities between Iran and its adversaries, achieving a peaceful resolution may prove difficult. As tensions mount, the world watches closely, understanding that the outcome of this incident could have far-reaching consequences for regional stability, global shipping, and the broader international order. In conclusion, the seizure of the Talara serves as a stark reminder of the fragility of maritime security in the Strait of Hormuz. As tensions continue to rise between Iran and its adversaries, the risks of further confrontations and disruptions in global trade loom large. The response of the international community, particularly the United States and its allies, will be critical in determining whether this incident remains an isolated event or sparks a broader escalation in the region. The future of global energy markets and regional stability hangs in the balance as the situation continues to unfold.